afia shishi wogbe wonona ya leke ya le wonwa wonyeme kaje dantu lantijan this year 2024 gbogbo mo shiche ke wo che ke himbeji after almost 3 years ne we mo ba ke be wo Katamanso ta now within 26 they should feel you live na 200 years you for almost about 3 years ne himbeji ke cheme ke pomia bibi shewe mo ba ke ha numo ya ke kitana asha ke kitana aka ya ke shale ke agboere abashan ke ka ke foni shi kitana aka ni aka tune ke ni tumo ne na tu egbobu ko ebi ni woji bi udase ya komi ami ke ni bi tajima woje ba ke ni bi ami bi o ni yo na me bi o ni for 3 years ne wo tun ni komi ami shi this year ake show 2 years cheme fe yo se ake be gadangbe fe wonuko ake even though mo fe mo wa na ke twata wonuko ake mo konfe nuko krede ni ke kayo cheme ke la na hwishi ya ke kaje nutumo na atu ya mumomi pote shwe ba this time wole ake gampo ye wole ake mene mo wonu oyo wole aka safotu na yo wole ake wonye me dangbe bi hu ama afina me yo ke ni bi ne ke afi ni efe akai cheme fe ni yomi wo gbogbo mo ke won che ametu ne ke nutu won wala ke nwo tupe be wo ke heli ake le ji overload of the Kadangbe state ni gapupa na no fe footprint ni di naji ke ni ji ye maji fe ano na nya tu kusu ne bebe e ke heli wo fe wo yi Kadangbe fe sha ke kunu filele ogbena ke wogbena wo fe wo yosu ake wonye memu bi who were significant in 1826 battle niji adote gbobilo which one in tun amame yosi niji vice president ha Nungua traditional council ke he won che ke Nungua ma fe gbogbo omo na de be wi mo sha ni no mi mo na wi emi ke historical records both kusumi ke no na ma fe ba na lake be na ka jibo ni yo ni wo cheme ewu wo hiwale ake be mene woche ne ke shita mo ne ko ni noni woli ya ife wonye wo ke fo pa no di fe mu wo ba wi she get 200 years share wo ke fe ba fo won wo kayo man bi fe ke Kadangbe bi wa niji achime ikwa peme akwa mume ke wonye me fanti ke dencha bi ke wonye me Dangbe me ke Kadangbe imagine fe ni amawa na the 2024. Greetings to you, our brothers and sisters in the media. Miss, we wish you afi anybody now. Ni pa fe pa ni wo bra. Eba tree were here. It is unfortunate that in a festive period like this, we should be discussing issues of honor in memory of our forebears. First and foremost, the Katamanso Hoomɔ under the auspices of the Gbogbo Moshiche in Nungua on the 7th of August 2024 was not to spite our Ashanti brothers, neither was it done to discredit the various allies, i.e. the entire Kadangbe towns from Gamashi, Usu, La, Teshi, Nungua, Toma, Boom, Pram, Ningo, Adam, and our Kadangbe brothers. The Shai and then the Probos. Also, not to mention our Chin brothers, the Akwamus, the Ekrapims, the Fantis, and then also the British who also aided in this particular process. This is not done to belittle any spiritual activity or preparations done by any other, as I've mentioned above, but to honor the heroes and to commemorate the spiritual preparation done by then Hoomɔ Chiche Numu Botedin within the Babuko before the warriors depart to the battlefield. Interestingly, the battle which began at Dodowa, successfully ended at the Pinkwai Katamanso within the Nungua traditional area, and which to state unequivocally that the Katamanso war was indeed spiritually prepared within the sacred Babuko. Because as I've indicated earlier on, the battle did not start on or within Nungua. It started way at the top of Dodowa, through the Dodowa forest, through Oyibi, finally ending at Katamanso. And for that particular reason alone, we believe and trust that the prayers that was done and the preparation that was done by the Babulo brought the battle to Nungua lands, where the 99 deities of Nungua were in full force. The Babulo Moshiche, as the overlord of the Gadangwe state and the custodian of the Babuko, rightfully performed the rite to remember the spiritual preparation made within the Babuko, to fortify the warriors and to honor the fallen heroes of the Katamanso War of 1826. The suggestion that this spiritual preparation took place in the Afie in Katamanso was not only untrue and a lie, but a gross distortion to our history, which must be readdressed unapologetically. Our brother New stated that the fortification and spiritual preparation of the historic Katamanso War of 1826 were made at the grove of the Afie deity in Katamanso. This is not true. If he cares to know, Afie is not a war deity. Afie is not a war deity. And I want to repeat that again. Afie is not a war deity. Afie stands for fertility and love. Also the wife of many senior deities within the entire Gadangwe state. She is a wife to many. In the Ga parlance, it is referred to as Beyo. Afie Beyo ni. Iwume umfana akpa. Iwa kele ya ata. Oto kele ya ata. Me bumonu ya ata. Me tafrache. Aba yobu etash. As referred by M.J. Field, Social Organization of the Ga people, page 86. You call the page 86. Obana no ni M.J. by Afie. Moreover, the Afie deity at the Katamanso is under the spiritual jurisdiction of the Babulo Moshiche, who is a rightful custodian. Hence, even if it was true that the spiritual preparation took place at Afie in Katamanso, it is still under the spiritual leadership of the Babulo Moshiche. But having known the spiritual role of the Afie deity, the Babulo will not and cannot use Afie to prepare for the battle. Hence, we are saying that his claims are false and he should not mislead the Gadangwe people. We want to state that before the commencement of the Katamanso War, spiritual preparations were conducted across the entire Gadangwe state, with a significant rite performed at the Sakumono Fio Toshishi in Gamashi. However, the Sakumono deity, which was instrumental in the war, has its roots in the Babuko. Reference once again referring to C.C. Randolph, History of the Gold Coast and Ashantis, page 10. It is clearly stated there, the rightful owners and the first worshipper of the Sakumono deity. We all know and we can attest by tradition and customs of the Gadangwe people that the Babulu Amoshiche does not cross the Peishi to Gamashi. Hence, any rites that are being performed at the Sakumono Tushishi in Gamashi, he performs same within the Babuko. More recently, we cannot attest that the Sakumono Mpa Brom in Tema attests to this fact in his audio recorded by one of our brother Hunia, which he stated that the Sakumono, that the Tema, Sakumono Mpa, which is being worshipped by the people of Tema, belongs to the people of Nungua, and that Sakumono Fio in Gamashi is also falls in line. Also, it is well documented in the social organization of the Gan people by Professor M.J. Field, page 138, that Numo Blabijegi or Nim Blabijegi, the first Mankralo of Nungua, who was by then the senior Babu Labia to the Babu Moshiche Numo Botedi, took his Mankralos to Okansha to the Katamanso War. The reason why every year before the Oibi Yam Festival, the Nungua Mankralo does sprinkling of special meal in Nungua ancestral homes and ends at the Royal Cemetery of the Amanfan quarters to feed all our ancestors and fallen heroes in remembrance of their courage and resilience in time of war, like the Katamanso War. It will be very unreasonable to assume that the Mankralo Blacks too went to the war without fortification by the then Babuwa Moshin Shiche Numo Botedin. We challenge our brother to produce any record in history written by any other black stew or any other performance within Nungua that was used or was taken to the Katamanso War. If there is any record to indicate such, because on record it is clearly stated that the first Nungua Mankralo took his black stew to the Katamanso Ta, which is the Katamanso War of 1826. Let me emphasize that this is not to inspite any of the men of valor like Ni Adote Bobilo of Nimwewe, who distinguished themselves during the war. The Katamanso War will be just 200 years in 2026. And the events of this war are well captured in our oral and written histories, as well as our play, Otu, May and Akon songs, for any serious royal in Nungua to miss. As I've indicated earlier on, the oral history is well captured within our tradition, custom, practices, and usages, and can be found within our play, our Otu, our May, and Akon songs. During our festivals, you will hear them clearly. And that any meaningful or any other person that touts himself as a royal from Nungua, written history and the oral history will expose you. You will not sit down aloof and allow, at this current stage that we are, for any person to use chronism to claim things which are false. That will not happen. We will not accept it. If you come 1,000 times, we will come 1,000 times with facts. We will refer to the books. We will refer to our tradition too as well. It's rather unfortunate. Furthermore, our brother's assertion that the gallant Asantini Oseya Akuto was killed during the war is utterly false. All the books does not claim so. Because in 1826, the colonial masters were around. Everything was documented. They were part of the battle. The British were part of the battle. Well documented. Asantini Oseya Akuto was not killed. He was not killed during the battle. Historical records and oral traditions clearly stated that the leader of the Ashantis, Asantini Oseya Akuto, was shot and wounded by our brother from Mowe, Adote Babilo. Whilst in his palanquin, he was not killed immediately like he asserted. Indeed, it's very imperative to note that historical records have stated that the Ashantis even lost their bodies too during this particular battle. But they have to regroup, reinforce, if not to lose the battle, the unifier of the Ashanti state have to be captured. Rightfully, they regrouped and got their bodies too back, which stands as a unifier for our brothers. Katamanso town was founded way before the war was called Aviam, which is kin to Aviam in Nungua. If you are fully informed or well informed about the history of the people of Nungua, you know that we have Hoomɔ, which is salty water, and then we have Nungua, which is fresh water. We have Aviam in Nungua, and you also know, as I've indicated, that the area where the final battle of 1826 happened was called Aviam. It was after the war that is referred to as Katamanso. So you will know, Aviam is a Dangbe. It's a Dangbe word, and everybody can go or search the meaning of it. After the war, the town was handed over to the Ajinwi people of Nungua. Quite after the war, Neoclay, the then Nungua Manche, placed two men our brother mentioned, in charge as caretakers under the express direction of the British government. Baburu Moshiche, overlord of the Gadangme state and the Gamanche, as it had at the time become an heritage site. And you can know that in more recent times, our brothers from Teshi, our brothers from La, and almost everybody within the Gadangme state have some level or portions of properties along the area, because after the battle, it became a property of the government, as the war was led by the then Gamanche. The British government asked that it has to be preserved as such. But then Gamanche accepted that, look, it is within the jurisdiction of the Nungua people, that the Nungua Manche should take full responsibility of ensuring that the site is an heritage site. The question that we need to even ask ourselves whether that has been kept even up to date by the custodians and the people that we've entrusted to keep the Pinkwine forest. Is the Pinkwine forest alive? Or it has been shared among people? Another lie through his state, in the statement that the Ashantis came to Katamanso unannounced, and that the people of Katamanso spotted strangers on their land and sent words to the Nungua Manche, who then sent words to other chiefs in other towns to gather at Katamanso for the war. It's a complete false and not true. Please, our brother Ni, Nana Osei Yao Akoto made his intention clear to attack, defeat, and push the Gadangme people or the Gadangmes inside the belly of Kamflan, which is the smallest fish in the sea. The smallest fish in the sea is called Kamflan. How did Nanaya Osaya Kutu being within the middle belt, and Ashanti king got to know the name of the smallest fish in the sea? Because he had conquered Fanti brothers with the British and gotten the title Bonsu, Nana Bonsu. The first time Ashanti king got the name Bonsu after conquering the Fanti and the British. Asked what is the biggest fish in the sea. He said the name of the biggest fish is called Bonsu. He said, I've conquered everybody at the coast, so now you can add Bonsu to my title. That was the very first time and Ashanti Hini had the title Bonsu. After our Gadangme brothers from Mashi, who had within themselves Fantis who went to aid in the Asamakwa War. Then Otunfo, who has had the title Bonsu to his name, declared that after the guns have aided the Fantis, he will show the guns a big lesson they will never forget by wiping us off the surface on the earth and pushing us. Ask, what is the name of the smallest fish? Now that I've taken onto myself the name of the biggest fish in the sea, what is the smallest fish in the sea? They told him that the biggest fish, as I've indicated, is called Bonsu. He said, if the biggest fish is Bonsu, then the Bonsu. Then he asked, what is the smallest fish? They say it's called Kamflan. I said, if the smallest fish in the sea is Kamflan, as the Ghana said, they are not plenty. I will wipe them off and I will push them into the belly of Kamflan. they will not even be known. Can form a big no you can find out why I can find ashi for me not the fake and a musube. One a two equalingy everything with you need a few lady you. Okay, I met you out can fly musue here. Cash in Wapuja chair. Gamepube Equuna. And it is well documented. Our brother cannot claim that they were in Katamanso and then they saw some strangers on the land, and then seeing the strangers on the land, he informed Nungua and then Nungua informed the other Gadangwe towns. It is well documented. It's well documented. Right after the Battle of the Samakwa War of 1824, thus it took 2 years of fervent preparation on both sides before August 1826. Before August 1826, all of us were documented that our Ashanti brothers will come and attack us. Because we had Fantis who have been assimilated into our Fuwas gangs, went to support the Ashanti brothers during the Samakwa War. The Asantini then declared that he will attack Gadangme. Unfortunately, getting to Kumasi, he passed on. His brother, who is the Asantini Oseya Akoto, vowed to continue. Vowed to continue the war. Because before that, before the Samakwa War, Ghana and Dangbes have a very fruitful relationship with our Ashanti brothers. Least did they know that during a battle between themselves and the Fantis and the British, we will go and then support the Fantis. But it was no fault of ours. We went because even though Nana Osaya Akoto upon further oracles that were performed in Kumasi, the oracles indicated to him that look, if you descend to Accra, you will lose. If you descend to Accra, you will lose the battle. But looking at his sheer numbers, because by then the Ashantis can be equated to any foreign force because they can raise huge numbers when it comes to their army. As indicated on records, they came to Accra with 44,000. 44,000 can be raised within the either the British or the Germans or even the white soldiers. The whole country can even raise 30,000. Ashantis alone can raise 44,000 men to come and fight. So looking at his sheer numbers, he knew that even if the oracle says that when it comes to Accra, he's going to lose that particular battle. Looking at his numbers, he can defy the oracle direction and then come to Accra. Indeed, it is stated clearly that Accra and Damashi and the entire Gadangme state, which included all the Ghana towns and our allies, the Achims, the Ikuapims, the Akwamus, the Fantis and the British, raised only 11,000. Only 11,000 soldiers compared to their numbers 44,000. It is almost 4:1. Definitely it's coming to Accra to clear us off. Indeed, our other Akan brothers who came to aid the process, it is well documented that they wanted their independence from the Ashantis. It is clearly stated that right after the Katamanso War, that is why you can see some of our Akan brothers celebrating Udra and all those things, because our brothers came with all those deities that were captured. And later it has become a festival for our Kwapim brothers. And almost all our Akan brothers have some celebration whatsoever in connection to the 1826 battle, because they wanted their independence from the Ashantis who were then dominating everywhere. Nobody has conquered them before. in which we respect them for that feat. But indeed, our ancestors, our forebears, stood on their grounds. If it is not because of the Hoomɔ preparations that was done within the Gbabu and across the entire and across the entire Gadangme state in preparation of the battle. So our brother cannot say that they were in Katamanso and they saw some strangers. The war did not start from Katamanso. The war started way beyond Dodowa, entered into the Dodowa forest, proceeded through Oyibi and all those towns into the Katamanso Pinkwai forest, which is well documented. We will not sit aloof. He's my former boss. I respect him as such. But we will not sit aloof for anybody to distort, to misrepresent. The Gadangme people on the sacrifices that our forebears have done for us to be where we are today. It's sacrilegious. The Gadangmes and allied forces knew of the pending war. This was the reason the troops of Nungua and others defied Governor Brooks' orders to remove from their towns and encamp with their main body in July 1826, as recorded and in reference by C.C. Randolph, History of the Gadang of the Gold Coast and Ashanti's page 207. It is sad that the Pinkwai forest, which should be preserved as heritage site for generations to come, have been razed down and sold out to developers by our brothers that are in Katamanso. This should be a serious concern to him. But no, he rather attacked the Gbogblomo overall the Gadangme state for remembering the Hoomɔ at the Gbabuko. We call on all meaning Gadangmes who cares about our Katamanso heritage to help rescue the remains of the Pinkwai forest, because we all know it is there for all of us to see that the Pinkwai forest right now, as I sit down here, as Nungua form Nungua, I cannot even quantify or see or know where the Pinkwai forest was. It is for him and all those that claims that Katamanso belongs to them to prove to us and to show us the size of the Pinkwai forest as indicated by the British government, and then the government chair the Gbogblomo to be preserved as such. It is not even there for us to see. As for his claims that the chief of Katamanso, he expected to be notified by the Gbogblomo overall the Gadangme state before the Hoomɔ came. We want to tell all Gadangmes that Nyo to Akwete, the recognized Mankralo of Katamanso, has not been declared dead, neither he abdicated from his stool, as no one else can be installed as Katamanso Manche. That's what I should be. One more could What for Katamanso match dash me?
I can be one. Well, now we could soon now we could soon catch it. Dashing me. What for Katamanso
match dash me? They have Katamanso match dash me. The pictures, I don't know. I couldn't walk away. He should answer his family from Ajinwe, who are seeking to know the whereabouts of the Katamanso mansion. No to our people. Since there has not been any announcement or proclamation of his death, nor has any right been performed to declare the stool vacant, his purported installation was conducted on a Sunday. It's nothing but one of the many affronts of Gadangbe traditions, custom practices and usages, which all right-meaning Gadangbes must condemn. Because to no offense wale, atu manche roba. The Gadangbe then. Atu manche roba. The Gadangbe then. Atu manche roba. The Nungua strong. Ya ke roba babubini. Wo fame on you on why ya ke roba babubini. Babubini atun jema wonko yini. Atun jema wonko yini. Roba ye Nungua maneni. Atun ni hu ye Nungua maneni. Aye bai ye Nungua shikoneno. Apart from Ashwani, apart from Babulomo. Le Babulomo, le père de feu Kusum Roba. Bogwe Kusum Roba. Le Nungua shikoneno. E yake manche to ke o to manche se kuna ke to manche won kuna ke to manche ku be na ke won ku itu wole manche ku be na ke se ku itu wole na kan se eye egbu na kan se na ba to bu manche na kan se eye egbu won na ke to bu manche na kan wo mu eye egbu Nungua shikone no bobupe atu ebutumo oba meni fita ina afi kusu efe ameli kemi jile mata u sebe ya ke awo mi dun awo mi ko dun no hiwo won ba mi ko won ke ma bi fe ake Gadangbe kusu ke gbajano tuwe wakenya nufimo akafite wokusuwe boni cheme ame kame shafole na agboye ke boni atole ke ha bonu obanale bible le cheke ake do not change or shift the ancient landmarks say boni atole one Yesu Kristo ko ikenke ko ifemi ni femi boni banale ma fele mi complete disregard for or lack of knowledge of our tradition and an unacceptable level of disrespect to ancestors and deities. Is our brother suggesting that whenever other Gan or Gadangbe town makes reference to Katamanso, permission must be sought from him? No, that is a big no. Was he stated in his statement that mekomeke ka akankita acho Katamanso ke nibi afrache Katamanso me acheme ya gbo ejo ni ba deje mini touch there ake teche ni bo te ko fi franco ni je no wa Mankralo Shorotalo ko ibigo te manche inni ni brabi jege ike wo se Mankralo se ike ti te o ke ma fi noko ke kai inni brabi jege ni Nungua fe pe ye Poulu no Nungua fe pe ye Poulu no nega lugu wo nunka wo yota ni wo ekome do moshia gadan bebi ni wo ekome do moshia wo nyema Ashanti na ke hota ye Poulu no ni ye Poulu no to na ba fa ke ba ya ta shishi ke ba je oyibi dodo wa ite gbe ale yake wo ba wuni ejebe ke be fale sheni mi fi eruku ken kai le iya bi Katamanso bi agbeda. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the famous Katamanso war was a success due to the fact that all Gadangbe's participated. The gallantry of the many Gadangbe warriors granted us victory. Therefore, all of Gadangbe can claim remembrance of Katamanso, more so during the proceedings of the Tema, Nungua, Pinko Island disputes, as captured in the Koda report of 1904, page 101. The then King Odaifio mentioned that he came to succeed King Bokete Lawe, who entered the sea when matters arose over Katamanso, Pinko Islands, issues between Tema, La, and Nungua. Again, it must be noted that in the suit number J4/13/2023, most recently, when our brother Nim was a defendant to the case, stated Baburomo was entitled to tolls from occupants of Katamanso, Pinko Islands. He himself, our brother, who did the presser recently, he himself, in the case at the Supreme Court, indicated within his claims that the Baburomo was claiming tolls and also entitled to tolls from occupants of the Katamanso, Pinko Islands. Why today, after going to Supreme Court to claim that Baburomo to ye many more ye Katamanso scorn of him, Baburomo to no my claim ye case and his stated here. Why many? It was no disrespect Baburomo, careful soon remembrance. You want to inform me and his cohorts that Katamanso, Hoomɔ, Kaino did not start this year. However, it was made public this year due to the pending 200 years of the battle. We urge all Gadangbe's people, all Gadangbe people, to disregard the misleading statement made by our brother and demand that he sees this is an attempt to undermine the integrity and authority of the Baburomo overlord of the Gadangbe state. The truth stands clear, and we will not tolerate any further attempts by anybody to distort our history and traditional practices and usages. Thank you. Nungua 6, Nungua Mankralo, Vice President of the Nungua Traditional Council, as read by Teacher Nibo Tekofi, Franpa II, Nungua Mankralo from Otago, and OEB Boyde, Manchester. Thank you very much. Question.
No, what telling me come feel.
You
teacher, I mean Tony.
I mean Shishi.
Okay.
You can clear Kababa Gam feel. Nanu what talk in summary. Pay Yagashi. Beku Goli was there 7th August 2004. Baburomo Shiche. After almost the Sunday, ne Katamanso ta na ya ho 1826 ke dodowa ite ahun ke chon dodowa ne ta ahiami ahun no ko agbe na ye ahiam ni bia no fo je me ake Katamanso gbogbo mo fi kai mo ni ko akai cheme ni ya tun neke ni tumo ne ke ka gbe ne jima woji ni ache awun neke tanemi gbogbo mo ke iwo nche etu neke ni tumo ne wo gbe na ata ye afie gbeja no to mi wo ya ke numu ko ti lawe ke Nungua me amejibe ni ame tumo neke amejo wo afi gbeja no to enchi woji shishi wo nyeme chano wo Nungua fe ye machine bi ni wakati wa nyema ise shi jina wakati chele bomu wa nwake wa nyemi nuwe kobe ye wa former regional minister ikeo afi Katamanso kusuye Nungua akekule na akekule mona fi je fe gamaka hia wudi ke tun agbene we tawo na huye gbobuko e jina kashin ahuye Katamanso ye afie kuna ene enwo gboguro mo na ene enwo Nungua Mankralo ene enwo Nungua onupa fena rewo ake ta Hoomɔ agoye gbobuko ebi ni Nungua Mankralo by then ni babijigi ni gboguro mo ni yo ake numu bote di ake gboguro mo ni tumo ni tun le cheme hie papo no ya ke 26 le dike tun ye wo papa ne no ama fe ye wo ji ahie agbene hu British government le hu ni yo no by then le hu e documenta oduba we wo cheme ni abu ta fe ama ye we wo cheme ha wo higbe ne ake wo compile ni bi efe ko ni bone tun le US and ko ni wo han le eto wo loji eto ni wo ke ha shanine ake ta wo fe woni ake shin ta na ba ji shishin wo nyeme gamashi amete amawa amenyeme Fatime ni futu ame ye samako wo na atwa 1824 ye wo nyeme Fatima ashpon akanta na agbena ashanti yini dene eye tano kunim ni ye tano kunime ne ba she show ye bi yake mini jikoru alo elo ni da ye show mi fi no fe no akela ke lo ni da ye show mi fe atola ake bonsu ni we ke ni ba yi ishona bi anu kunimele be ke ye gbene se ake bonsu Africa gbe ni wa ke la kan gbe fi te gbe na no yi gbe kenkle no ba na ka shanti me ke fo amenu na lo ameke bon amenu fo ake bonsu no ba na bonsu ne ake shin ameke game ye shramo wo gama ameke wo ye shramo poten dente shi ake wa nye wo nye me fante me ase ni ba fita wo ye wa nya me se ye fante ta mi e ele ba wo nye ma shanti ma ana manche va wa ke game le be ka me shramo lu ba game la me ifa wo na me ifa iwo kama wa fante mele e ba chon game lu ye je me ebi ake ke acho le lo ni da ye shop mi fe ni jibo osu ne ke fite egbe aye be ba bi ake mi ni ji lo bibi oni on shop mi na cha ha le ake lo ete acho le acho le kan flan ke machi gambe ka wo kan flan musu ke ga form bi jibo lo yi kan flan da obana ake kan flan wi so ka shi podent e musu be musu e fe la dio e wo ka achi wa wo kan flan musu e be shwe wo e shikone no no na nuku ka we ba chi wo ke akaje 1824 ni abani alo ni abani ana be na sho kuma say after samako wo ya fita image abo shiko ba sani afu ejebe sani afu ejebe enyemi nu fi oni atole nana yawo se akoto kele ke tane ba cha no ya ke game shine na me ke game yo game betray am yo ba cha le ke tane me yo ka ye jebe ton e se hipote na ba mi po ke ha ga me fa ke wonye ma Ashanti me ama ba titu awa go wa o kan flamusu efe bibi ye Kumasi le we ho ta san ta fe le ho fe e che me ko la ke ba gan e hi ba shwe she le ke ta ne shi ke kwe he wale na Ashanti kingdom me yo ni abekun ka me fun mo ye gan popa Ghana o alo Gold Coast alo bi fale yo le je no ko kwa bo fe bo na ma fi ha e ba yi gan e we decide ake yi baka lele wonye me achime akwamume ekwapim me wonye me fatime already na ma ya me na fe ame ye na me ya me shishi aka mo me to henoyeli niji independent from the Ashanti say wo na Ashanti ke ibaga mo me decide ake abama wa game ale no ke Ashanti me shane ye me ama na me independence ni wa ma fita wo ke British government normally wo fe wo ye gadan bi dey fe ke wo ally say fe ye fe it was just 11,000 soldiers I mean 44,000 clearly 1:1 ka no Ashanti me edwe ke ganukumi ke wo ally say fe am yi wa hu shini tane me ni tran kono me tene ku ke nka me no ba ma yi an wo ku fita na me fi bi or there is no way no about we no e watch me am a follow mumu enu wo ye mumu ta flache am je make akon ni yo je nchi mo si wo bi e de play ne gan pupa ne no fe play son le watch me follow that wo la ke ta Hoomɔ shishinje ke no fe no aje Sakumo no hand directive na fi ye Sakumo no Choshishi Sakumo Choshi Gamashi wo fe wole ye wo jami na na ake Sakumo no de je money kenkle ni ja Sakumo no ji no mo bokte la anma ye wo jami clean ko ba gbobuku na bi e pie ye gbobuku e ni mi ba wo atale white ke ni bi ye ba ko ni o ba ton Sakumo no ye ni yo ye gbobuku Sakumo ye ni yo ye gbobuku e no he wo Sakumo no ke directive ba afi kusun e aje kusun e je machine aka gbogbo omo le diche Sakumo e shishi fa ke no fe no e gbogbo ko e ni gbogbo omo e fo pe shi wo fe wole e kusun gbeja no to wo enye ya ga machine ko na ka fi kusun e no wo che me je che tun na I call on him koni no le ba fe ye shishi pa here koni fe dani ayata lele no na sane fe ye e ba fe wo jin ke wo kusun gbeja no to fe hu yo dasi ake Nungua Mankralo den ni blamije no data me leji gbobula bia ke han gbobulo mo numo bote din le hu ese ni die taya se ama ye MJ fi de mi pote ake le hu taya se etu kusun krede na sa de etu e no mi je ni alugu ye powulu no ewo wo nke yota no ni jemiye no yino na akete ta kunimi ya fe wo no ta fra che je Nungua mepe nitita wo fe wole nuchumo ni wonyeme mwewe bi kai amebinu ni adote gbabilo nuchumo na etu eta leji mo na etu atu ni kata Ashanti manche ita ipakami ni tun ese no mi je na sala kalashi tashi wonye minu ye gbe yake otun fo ala Ashanti ni egbo tashi ni ilu efe poto ni ise ewu keni afrache blema wocheme amaleboni ke gbomogbo e atun yi a preserve wala ni yu eyan shi yonkumi na afuju leko ni wo fe wole Ashanti ni den iyi wale ke gboji ni yo ye gadagbe ni efe there is no way na Ashanti ni babata ni ta frache ke tunpu ese ni te yi meji abo mi Ashanti me ba ko ni ilu fa poto ni ise no ni ama ye wojiami ke no ni yo wo history mi ke no fe no to ageshi egbo ye tash chaka tu se ye o akelete ima le la chante manje me chimoni ba fe egbo anu wo no ageshi amedro trese ni ji si to ya ko fie de che enyo ye tam shameka no ni wo no ni anwe here ba so she tam keni bi ele no ni here me ake ma ni ji square ya ko fie le asane ame ya she amengbe lele ame regroup na me ni ba she sika ja ko fie no na geti ngene no ino de here me ni ameke shole mo ke no ya ifi ame no ni gbagbu o mo fe on the 7th of August e fe de ke ngomo ko mi la she fe egbe na anu tumo ake e so afi eyo pe no ba na afi o ha eyo ni na ke gbujo ne ba she ne ke gbujo ne je mo ko me pe no ni gato pa ne mo fe mo ni ya ke mo fe mo gboye shi meri atata ade nche am na fe mo pe laje mo ko be British government e ye le ma ni o e ma mo fe no e wo le ye ja ke shin Katamanso ta ahu ye gbogbogbo e sha ahu ye afi ye Katamanso oni ni se ya le du shishi fi o e age afi jema won tafra che shipa afi jema won je won na ke ata afi jema won ko to bi o to sule mo branchile mi sami keni bi e afi jema won lo le ju afi jema won fe won la ke gbe yu mi jema won ji ni yo gadangbe ne ni jema won bi bi fe mo fe ye na afi ye ife wa fi ele gbe yo ni akele ya ata no ni se o ga fe na no sana ga ke u ya ta no huta won no ke hu ta no ke ya won no ni yo mi no ali ble ma ka ya ta aweli o ta ya senji ke sta ya ji ma wo ji na ke ya ta no ani won je ma shate me na me ba me ka ame ji ma wo ji fe ka me otiti bon fe ni discret ka ko fi ame le bata te fe to ka fi ya do mo le ke ta nena ya ka fi ye yoni ye hu ya ta mo sha fi ye tutun tu ele ko to bi o to be ni ye ni se wa nye yo se ke ni bi o to ye no me aka fi ye tu sha fi ye le akle ya ta ko kle te ta fra che no ye to fa wo mi to be ne kwa ke ashanti ya fi ye mi ni na champion na de wo mo fe wo da ka ke wo mo da ke keke mo ewo so ta fra che shipa be aba alu ame fa me duna e aga hinji ame do wo ke madam we evita sane aba alu ame fe ye tash e aga afie ye ya ata le ka o to bi o na sane no nga mfe ni bi ko me wa na afie ba tuntu mo na ya bu fine ni na ba ko be ni wo jeme wo ke kusu e gbaja no to e bo na ewila e bemina ni ake gadango bi ke yino bi ni mba won pa fai ake nya no fe mo aka fite ga ke hawo aka ka fite gadango ke hawo aka ka fite kusu ke hawo wo kusu gbaja no to e bo na ka shika de blema bible legend chema ake Jesus Christ ke nke go fita ahe nji eko ye me bo ni ba ni na le no machine won pa nye me fe afai won pa nye me fe afai le mo na ewe na kan gbile no e ji ewe mo sha ke mi ji le ma ju so ni ke dai e ja ke agboe wa ye le ke ta ne agboe pote chipi agbote ko afun e dama ye bi kwa em ni wo wa ke ni no ni wo ko hu ja ke shi Katamanso le kwa ke shi o enye wo family enyo ni ya hinje be Katamanso ma atoko ada ni Katamanso ta acho ye ma ka anya dan mi gbe wo fe wole ake wo enuwo no enuma history ni ka te je ni tabi ene ni ma ni mo fe wole nuwo ke numba boni shishika mo ya iwo ka cheme ake sha mi sumo nu wo laaji o na no we bogti la we anyo ye Nungua wo ya nya yembe ya numa be ka shi omo aka na atwata ye dodo wa ite ahun to acho yibi ahun ke to ko majano ba we shike majie fe nita na bagbe alliance kon no echo heritage site no yo awoje ake Katamanso who can turn na usunge e ya ke wonye ma ashanti me ame try five share ake ame kan tamu ake amachi wawo kan framusu chi ya Katamanso e amenyo wolo enwe ma kote yake na atata ake je dodo ake ba ke ba cho oyibi ke maje ano ni agbere nta she Katamanso e Nungua me helishi ake na she Katamanso pe ba me ma abe aba amejima wonji an mene ni ka yejima won sane ni keke mo fe mo ngbe ta frache no na esumo yejima won shi blema biye amesho jima wonji an gbe na me buwa ni iwo na me yake ta e ba she Katamanso e be ta mbenke Nungua jima wonji yen no no fe no na ba gbe ta na ni ta because na wo ibie Nungua ekita kama oye kome oji oyibi jo na ka da ibi jo na ke ba ho ta e o oyibi a hu e ba se Katamanso ko kan ya ba ke Nungua provided extra 600 men e report am extra 600 men na ake ta amu na ye Katamanso yo wa dromo na ke mo bona le na ake wonyeme mwewe bi ko na me clear mo ka me timo bia no na ya me mi no ka me clear ka me timo we back one ya no je cha me clear mo ka me tile na ke dodo wa ite ta descend na hu ni ba shi Katamanso ya yi owo chicken ba ayi wo ya yi owo ke je dodo wa ite a hu e ya yi owo ke ton magiano ke ba ayi wo kan fran no mi wo ya me wo ke wo cheme egboi yene ke itu ne here ta flache isa no kan ya ni ko kan ya na ke hi mina wo kan ya sa wo kan ya ya jeme na agbeta na British government e ba wa na ke trata site heritage site gamanche jimoni ni eta here ike ya safa chema Katamanso ni na betata chiko kan report again Nungua provided 600 men e a Katamanso ni ta ka puchi na gbe na echo heritage site British government ke jeme heritage site yo gamacha akwe mo gamacha ke o Nungua ma stone ono ne ba je ganton ne ba kwe mo le be manjo chiri na manjo okay nileji Nungua ma chege ne be ekwe koni ekwe spono heritage site le hun ta flache agade fun lo ni ike o be ye me no ne ni wonye mi eche ame be ba ma fe mi ama hije shi me ama hije ko na wa me ke wa me ni yo je me na ke ko je me no mi je Nungua me ejole ame na me ke ko je me ye je me Nungua spon ko be ke yo yibi ahun ke bata Nungua ma na ye ni wota ne ni je Nungua Stuland Nungua spon fe Nungua Stuland babu mo shite ke Nungua ma che they are the allodial owners of all Nungua Stulands je wo kuku no wo kuku be Nungua ne me spon ye ba Nungua Stu money ke Nungua ma che ke Nungua ke babu mo shite overlord the Gadangbe state there and have bubu ni to ake spon bu no ne you cannot claim to it we were heritage site mene ni wo yo ne na kan wo heritage site ni blofu meke gamanche who then had even up to date by tradition and custom has no equal among all chiefs ni yo wo shpo ne no na akaya ko no mene wo shita mo ne Waya jamake. Pinkwai ya jam. No me fe wo fe din keke. Ske nche ya gbo etan. Mo ko nche ya gbo etan. Na ikaye. Esa na efi ona agba. Onu akwa ke ka asha kita ke ni biye a che Katamanso social media do ko. Onu omi no ko. Onu omi no ko. Eja ke Monique Shankita ichegbu eke. Ichegbu Katamanso gba. Yo ba yen che. Shinpeja no to ni yo here. Look we lajiko. Fair. Manche masali ni yo Katamanso ewe. Je mini tashi e bi ene mini make. She nyeme yen cheke ameche egboku. Afrique de danshime. Afrique ya. Yo ene be mu asane fi conseil ke hawo ake dadangi e ake wo kusun be janu to e boni kashi ake nyanu fi mo ke chronism ke politics ake to wo ga kusu e ke bushi na me to ke bushi eji na gba ke lomo ke hawo ga bi alo wo gadangbe bi je no fero na yo ikola me gba me na ekole ame egba amena bo fe wona ba cho gan kusun ni abushi egba amena okay ewo wo fe wona Crowder report na ma Crowder report ama yebi Nlegenche Crowder report of 1904 page 101 there. Then Nungua manche ki o dai fi o. Legenche kai ni gba mi po. Ake manche ni yo bokiti lawe. Gbe ami. Si bokiti lawe igba shop yi ti. O ni igba shop yi ni ti. Le ni kwese. Ko aka ni Crowder report 101 ni play. Ake nuno bokiti lawe. Le Manchester. Ni le ki o dai fi we. Le bokiti lawe ba. Na ka no wonyemi nu e a free press conference a court case make alame on Pinkwai for say Supreme Court suit number J4 13 2003 alleged one of the claims ne fi yemiji 2023 bobu romo shiche ye Katamanso me fe me ni hu eje alo me fe no ko Pinkwai forest pon alo ye Katamanso bobu romo emo to Ehi oto ye me fe ni tuni e Katamanso shpon. E wo ka bodi e chote Supreme Court. No ka wo claims am yake shpon jail ama shpon. Shi Nungua ma shpon. Ni gbobulo mo he oto ye je. No ka fo claims no ka mo shpon ye la ma. De tu fo te mene ka gbobulo mo e fe kusun. Akeshi ta na te je me kusun mi fe ne wo mi fe kusun ye here. Uko ake no ni gbobulo me fe game kaka tuye energy in summary no ni woko gamake no ni lewe ata ni sempe palise ni wo yafi ni wo swa ni wo npoto ni wo da mi se ni ata ni sempe palise ni aye so asane e ba Nungua ma na mi e ba wi na kan wi mo alo ya Katamanso ko ni awi na kan je ni sempe palise le ba wi na kan wi mo like ni sempe le wo okumi agbo eta mi ego ni sempe okumi agbo eta gama shefe mo fe wo ha tamulo ya ka aya ya ga mama jijeta ame ama wa me nyeme fante me abola me ni bi ama wa me ni sane ya ba na ka ba gbe wo fe nuwo na ba gbe wo fe wa je ni sempe je ba wi o wa pa fa o kusun to nya to e aka nya ni fi mo kasti wo kusun tado ma nju
Hey,
ke sakumo be alo gbobu be sakumo be no fi ano na fi sakumo to nchie gbobu ko mi afi okejo aja ke sakumo eshishi yembe gbobu ko we mi nya bia la ya go aka ni se ne ama no ni fa nya mi si document ne ma twali la me tete po yo da ti ake ke je tutu e pinkwai Katamanso sponge alo to e gbobu lo mo ni tu ona yo ene wo la me ya report e ha colonial government ni colonial government fe mi ma wolo can invite Babulo. Shakane for Peshi war. Miniva. Mekan be any ever. A one higher book, a kaka water, less you snare. Need no me, not Kaka Babulo on the show. Can I think quite a Katamanso? No war, now your sky, Demi. I've been only telling you where I know it 10 way. 1904, better me not bad. Tema. Nungua, Unsuni Pinquite Tema. Nungua, Pinquite Tema dispute there. Eba. Ake manchameni ada motion ya me maji amba chono le wona mad motion no mi manchani yo niji manche odaifio ewe ake ni wo fo le chemo ake kin odaifio the second there ebe ba yo ake e kansuwa mi ni edamo bo ketela we Nigerian ken pa Katamanso Pinkwai responding ka me ka na me be mi ame ko boji niji crowd report there e ko ne ene wo kete archives ne ya kanemi ojoba ake Babulo mo be e wale ya Pinkwai ke Katamanso sponge anolo ke fe onupa yi ameka fe ni wona bu pa ya no ni ka e ke je na kan se no eta wo ba sile e ha e ke e fili na ko dole no ni je no we ke la ya do ke le ne kusun tani le kusun tuntun wo le ake gan sipo no dan na ba fe mi aba wo nu mo ko e deshi alo mo ko e gbo dan na wo mo ke le la ya do ke le yo Katamanso mante gbene e to wa ni papa yo e papa wo le ake le ji Katamanso mante ke papa ko ko e to wa ni papa yo kala ya go ko kele kusun tani alo ele kusun we na wo bia la ya go ake ka be ni na fe kusun alo asa bele enu wa afi asafo kusun lo ato manche bẹ́ẹ̀ni ni asma alo aduma ye gaspo no ka to manche la ya go ake wo ne ke enu akodo Katamanso saliki mi ne ko wo mi ne to he ke wo mi ne ko wo e batas ne ko ake Babulo mo ni ne be ta fla che Katamanso sajin alo Katamanso ta Hoomɔ sajin nya bia wo din yo e da se ni sisi we no fo pe ten ka ke sakumo Babulo mo le no ni dani wo ke hate mami e wo mi na ba fe sakumo to shishi e gan le ko go fun e ko alo an ke ba go ko eni onupa eni ameko awon yoba afili en wa nwo mo keke ka me li ake amba no afili na amba yu apasa ke we mo eni de mi wo sha me ameka nyi wo ke wo we fe wo twa no ba nya ba ne press conference concerning 1826 stani ataye tajadodo waka bagbe Katamanso yabana ke press conference ojino ni akale ka banyagbenu amonto ne ewo ife lo bo ko oradun ake ko wo je ka ju nation ope e ko share video e ko nyemi ko ene ko eko
bo mo den do share ni onyami ko mu aneko akwe wana ke ogbabula bia emi ni wa idama ewe idama ogbabula bia ewe idama loko bi oji ni yo ka ayo fo na yo mo na to manyaba yo abrada bi yo skobe ko bi aji ni wakanyaba wa amronto na kaji o nation ope e bo she keke onyami ko ina ko eko
Mensumo achobi na pesi brabi ma ni afoti agbo wie mo na ewu ke shiro no wa ma o ha na ko joba na ka ambato ma e che bato ma aka ami bi ni oje eni bi na ami ni oje le ke gasa ko mo bi e pe le ha mi si le he mini tutu no adomo na na ga masi bokete la we le e ke bi akwe so na ama ajofu ne efo yo mo ya ne da ko ngwe ga yo me ga ya aya wasa kete ni ka ni ga ke ne oje si le he wọ́n mi gbèdé pa kàmá pè sọ fún ọ náà ní àtọ́ mi sí lẹ́yìn lẹ́la mi tọ́ mi níbi àmà mi ra àwọn ìbá mi dá mi tẹ̀sí náà mi yá na tìmọ̀ nígbà yín gbẹ̀ na gbẹ́gbẹ́ gbà yín gbẹ̀ nígbà yín méjì yẹn wọ́n ní wọ́n náà lẹ́ẹ̀bá nígbà wà pé ẹ̀ nígbà ebi àbẹ̀jì ò ní inú wa wíwí àkẹ́wọ̀ sẹ́ wọ́n mi bọ̀ àwọn òbá wọ́n pé wọ́n yà ẹnu wọ̀ yọ nígbà yín fẹ́ yẹn fúrẹ́fúrẹ́ akẹ́ panisi yẹn sì yàtọ̀ ẹ̀ẹ́kọ̀ mẹ́ méjì yẹn nà gbá nkan to sile yi nikiti otia nika mesega ne bo nika nyina bie nka bie hanye nika take abie ke ba bie kenye take bie ke ba bie ba isane o ninu ma o lu adon wo hu no wo nyu no wo fe ni ngene go wa pe o sile yi enyo ba yi wo e ga he nya no kunu sida afie ba nye bomo ko be jini ni e jibo jia na jema wo jia na sapato e nyoji boto no tero yu abulubulu eje Nungua e atomo ahunu mande yo e ko be twa nungo ne ga yi afie si atomo ahunu mo na me nie e mo le ba ne ga o papa e ka o minti unti nu ya den ni yo wo ho ne ga ba sia e bi bote mo le temire na lo ni ba sia lo ni ba na le ne e ta je na chobe odai milalo sonkai abawa nyon menye boy ma anyo no ni ye fe goloko no kwa bote wasi onu kwa na ye fe te gboyi o kwa ji we bele de we si a onu kwa gboyi o kwa gbo we onu kwa gboyi o kwa gbo mene no mi ka ni pray san se ni oje mene na yo abe ma afa ko mi e me ni na no kwa ji ni mu ewe no na ta chewe nye me ni ba fe ma si aka to ndi aka ma moko ya mami na ba nina de ni hame kwa sina he mene nyi bonya donsi ni duo ni nyele we aboja ka no ke ka wi mene tutu ana mene pi kwa mene ana Katamanso mene ana akofodua si bo fite ba we le asete na nka nke ba ametu na nyuma na nka chie mancha chie aya won so mi kaja mnanga wo shobi mo we na ba ye gana we bo kaja na we le je ma woji ne tu me kwe ni e jo pe na mata so fun ana be na me ba le na cha pinti gemba na fa me ayama hu na me ya na me na ko ma se mo fa bo me se ko blan ade se si a ye chi achi mu nya ye bra ye wuri ewura anu na bo je ko mala abra ko furo ni ma se Vamos.
mi no ke ba
yo Kaya ma na gada mo bi fe. Na gada mo bi fe ke wo wulo me ke wulo mo. Ile la ke ma jile. No woni ko ake ile la ke ma jile jiji. E ba ha ku kama fe ale ake kama to ma se ka to ma ke gbo. E ha ko wole. E ha ko wole ake ka to ma ke gbo. Ni keji ke ma ke won gbo hu e. Je la futa go le baye. E ja ke shi e papa ba eni baye ni e papa on baye fe aton kutu boy la ke mo kaji ngene ni afite lele ni afite ko papa boy ni ke wa ke papa boy o fe wole kan na ke shi kaji o cheye manje je bu sa wa yo manje ke o cheye manje je bu ba yo manje do e ya e kokolo na wo ye no kaji ngene ani wala wala akashi ato leji Katamanso manche shi ko hani kama ga ke ga dan me fe ali akashi je afuta buji Katamanso manche ija akashi mi na to ma wulo mo mi to ma hani ali akashi tafache wole le akashi ceremonia manche yo fe ona wo ceremonia manche yo ya akashi wole la akashi me wa ko ha ko wole ake papa ego no papo baba kewa ke papa bue ya ke meni yo manje wole ame salami mache salami me amamenu eche salami amamenu eche na mbaye no keji afita go papa bue salami me ni baye no ngene wole afita ba keji ke wo fe na kan ye be wo gbagama ya ke wona anu kwale ni wo yi no yo ni ngene gan pese shingene wana kagishi wonwa ni boma wu no mo bokete la wotulu de overload yi eke efe nakan enye eton mla yin efo sha lo to kusu yin efo shi akeshi devede no che oni bayi no che bayi eke ko che ye keke bu ngo bo bayi no che bayi mu o che ha bo wole aka gam fe ala ke be wo baba etun se no wo be ni keji mo ko tun se de jama ke tun se ato wole dam awo so no talo to be ni wo wole fe se akeji le bo pa se ya ke wo la ke bo e ka tu na ka wole le wo le ba do mo ji keji papa ibu e be ba do mo ji ni fu ko na mo kokolo si je le ba yi no sha ko ni keji ke shi je bo mu ko mi aho ta ni akatwa amunata mi to maka afta ba mi pale fa ye shi ba mi ewe mo ji ye le wie in la ke ye original minister mo la ke to no pa te ya shi mi be shu a ke shi le mo mi pale fa ye ewe mo ye le wie e bo mo de ni e ba mo ne place e pa le ise ko no ni bo sa ka no ni ele na kele be mi na to na kanta no mi afo eni bo bena fo akana kanta meni pa fa kole aba fo papa na uni le papa fo le no ene to na ho ta ye na mo ni kere ni meni wo tututu yo he ake afi na ho da ko ke gama pa ke shi aya tata a ho ta no a ho ta ye yo jama wo yo ni defene na ho ta ye yo na to we wonye me ko be ya ke fo ka ni ya ke fo ke shi ga yo ni yo e ma wo yo e a wo ta je a wo ta e nuna ni nuna e ndo fa to aje na to Katamanso aje Nungua na to Katamanso o ka je Nungua na to Katamanso ko be da fe di o kana da me ne ti fe gbo ko ne o ka ja huta be ngba je na huta no ni ba na Rollins ba mu eni akene ke ba fe bi e Rollins du fo fo bata e ba no mi jame to ni bala ke shi aba fe aya fe ku
no ajek amanfa na ke Rollins te Katamanso na aketwa ni Rollins ya fe ku eje me pele na to la Katamanso na to sa Katamanso ji Katamanso no e disi be ke yemi o me pa le fai e gbe mo ji en ko me bo fe mo na me yo amaye wo shishi wo me fe ji ade wo ameke respect respect ata oti to shia no fe press conference no le ake se oti to ke aba mo bobu ro na wo le chu asu abu mu enu wa no ba su abu so ati oti to le ba ka ma su le ba su abu ya ka shinu ya ko ti to ko le yo no wa ni e pa le 5 yo nka ne ba wa bi e si e ko kro ba ba ko wo e se ya ka se ka ke e ke wo wọ́n wọ̀ kẹ́yọ́ wọ́n bá ní ilé akíṣe ṣe wọ́n bá ń gà fẹ́ á lé akẹ́ èyí màjẹ̀ yẹ Katamanso géèlè yọ màjẹ̀ Katamanso ìṣẹ́kù àmì nọ àmì yìí ìbọ̀bá yìí ní ìbọ̀bá yìí ẹ̀ agbọ̀nẹ̀ báyà sálámì máa nọ sálámì mẹ́ ni yọ màjẹ̀ wọ́wọ́ nẹ́ẹ̀sì fẹ́ ẹ̀fẹ́ tó wà fẹ́ yẹ ọba yìí bá jẹ sálámì mẹ́ ni yọ màjẹ̀ nàmbà àmì nàmbà yìí.